I've been very vocal about the need for transparency and fiscal responsibility. And when it comes down to that, my concern is having the same city manager who's been in the system for all these years. Are we just engendering a continuation? The conflict in our commissioners is just terrible. To me, it is a disgrace that adults are not behaving like adults. I have been, all kinds of things said about me, because I keep saying we want transparency and we also want courtesy. Mr. Baker, we want courtesy, okay? And so I'm hoping that you can help us. Isn't it going to be an audit? Are you going to vote for an audit? Will people actually, Bill Julian, you've often voted against Keith and what Keith has shown to be a problem, and he gets no support. Is that going to change according to the issues?
It already has. We're getting an audit. We're being more
An external audit. External audit. Okay, but what I'm talking about is courtesy, transparency, fiscal responsibility. We want a city that functions. We love Hallandale. We would not be living here for over 40 years. Hallandale Beach. And we would not be living here. So please help us have a city that we are proud of and that works well and protects its citizens and considers us.
We do have a lot of conflict on the board, but as you notice, it ain't coming from me. Keith and I never really had a fight. We never really had words. You know where it's coming from. I do try to maintain some kind of balance of civility. You know, if I don't second somebody's motion, that doesn't mean I don't like them. You know, it means I'm not for it. And then maybe 6 months down the road, I might change my mind and go for it. And there's been a couple things that I've seconded that Keith has been fighting for. And we've gotten some things passed. So, you know, I think we're on the right track here. I think we're getting more transparent. Keith has got the checks on the internet now that we can see where all the money's going every month, and I applaud him for that. Because that's very interesting. I'm starting to pick up a lot of things on that. You know, I think we can learn from each other on the commission if we be civil. And I am probably one of the most civil on the board.
Thank you, Dr. Schultz. One of the things that I really live for is customer service. Every day, we get irate people calling our congressional office where I answer those phones, or I come to the front desk, people having issues with Social Security, Medicare, Veterans Affairs, any possible issue. And we had issues in the Northwest when they were taking out the blue post office boxes, dropping off at the post office. And it takes a certain amount of finesse, takes a little bit of courtesy, takes a little bit of public relations, knowing how to talk to people and deal with people. Because the post office was saying, you know what, we don't need any these loose post boxes to drop off your mail. We don't. Our policy says you don't need one 2 miles. But it's all about how you approach an issue, how you can solve it, and be critical thinkers. The idea that I was like, well, what about, I addressed the problem, and he was trying to put up a brick wall, and you say, well, what about a government building? Can you put up a blue post office at a government building? And he's like, yeah, of course. And I'm like, well, we have the Hepburn Center. And there's one right there right now. It's not just because of me, it's just because the ideas that we can come up with. And it talks about critical thinking, courtesy, making sure you have good customer service. You'll have that in me as a commissioner, and we'll make sure that it passes through to the rest of our city as well.
I believe in the golden rule. Treat people as you'd like to be treated. We can disagree, but we don't have to be disagreeable. A lot of you have been to my meeting. I hold a meeting once a month. 30 people show up. Last year during the LAC thing for the diplomat, I had 125 people show up. You've watched me run a meeting. You've watched me communicate. You've seen me. Doesn't start here. Second to a motion. Second to a motion would be for discussion. I can't even get a second for a motion for discussion. For discussion. Robert's rules. This city is the only place I know that doesn't even function in Robert's rules. I mean, basic decorum. Read the minutes. Didn't start with Keith London. Read the minutes when Tony Musto was here. Read the minutes when Joe Gibbons was here. So if somebody wants to say that I'm the lightning bolt, go back and read the minutes.